Aesop once said, "No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted." It's like planting a tiny seed. One day that seed could grow into a big, strong tree. And just like that, your kindness can grow and come back to help you when you least expect it. Have you ever done something nice for someone, even if it felt really small, like sharing your snack, holding the door open, or just giving someone a big smile? You might think, oh, that wasn't a big deal. But guess what? Even the tiniest act of kindness can make someone's day better. And sometimes it can even come back to help you when you least expect it. What if I told you that the kindness you give today could even save you tomorrow? This heartwarming story of a boy and a starving dog teaches the power of kindness and compassion. Watch now for inspiration and practical steps to bring more kindness into the world and learn how to untap your potential. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories, motivational figures, comeback stories, and public speaking tips that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. Peter was a poor 12-year-old boy who barely had enough to eat. One afternoon, as he walked along the dusty road, he pulled a small piece of bread from his pocket. It was all he had for the day. Peter took a bite, savoring every little crumb, when he noticed a stray dog nearby. The dog's ribs showed through her thin fur, and her eyes looked tired and hollow. Wagging her tail weakly, the dog stared at Peter. Now, Peter could have quickly shooed the dog away and finished his meal, but something stopped him. Instead, Peter sat down on the road and placed the bread in front of the dog. "It's okay," Peter said softly, itching the bread forward. The dog sniffed the air, her eyes flicking between Peter and the bread. She stepped forward, hesitantly, but as soon as Peter extended his hand further, she froze. In a sudden motion, she lunged forward, grabbed the bread between her teeth, and bolted down the street without looking back. Peter chuckled quietly to himself as he watched her disappear around the corner. "Guess you were hungry after all," he murmured, brushing the crumbs off his hands. After several weeks, the village experienced devastating floods due to heavy rain. When Peter noticed a girl his age stranded in the rushing waters, he strolled close to the swollen river. Her scream for help could hardly be heard over the thunderous current as she clung to a broken branch. Peter was aware that the water was dangerous. He had the option to flee to safety, but he chose to be brave instead. Fighting the current, he jumped into the churning river and approached the girl. "Hold on!" Peter shouted, his voice barely carrying over the roaring water. With one final push, Peter reached her, grabbing the girl's arm. He fought against the current, kicking hard until they reached the edge of the flooded street. With all his strength, Peter pushed her towards the stone. The girl scrambled onto solid ground, her clothes soaked and heavy, but she was safe. She coughed, catching her breath, and when she turned to thank Peter, her heart sank. He was already being pulled away by the swirling water. As Peter was carried further downstream, he thought this might be his end. But then, from the corner of his eye, he saw something remarkable. A dog paddling towards him against the current. It was a stray dog. Peter thought the dog must be in trouble too, but no, the dog was heading straight for him. With determination, the dog grabbed Peter's shirt with her teeth and swore towards the shore. The dog barked loudly once they reached land, calling for help. Rescuers heard the noise and rushed to the scene. They were about to carry Peter to safety, but Peter refused to let go of the dog. "This dog saved me," Peter insisted. "Please, let her come with me." The rescuers agreed and brought Peter and the dog to a nearby shelter. They gave Peter warm soup, bread, and water, but the dog initially received nothing. Peter recognized the markings on the dog and realized it may be the same stray he had shared his bread with weeks ago. "Is it really you?" Peter asked softly. The dog barked happily and wagged her tail. Peter broke his bread in half, ready to share it with the dog again. But before he could, one of the rescuers returned with a whole loaf just for the dog. That night, Peter smiled as he watched the dog enjoy her meal. What began as a small act of kindness had come full circle, proving that sometimes the good you put into the world finds its way back to you in the most unexpected ways. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can't see. Mark Twain. Sometimes being kind might feel like a waste. You might give away your last bit of food, time, or energy to someone in need. And it might seem like that barely even puts a dent into the whole cause. Even when it feels like you're not getting anything back, what you put into the world somehow finds its way back to you. Here are some cases where kindness was paid back in full and even quadrupled the amount. 89-year-old Derlin Newey started working 30 hours a week as a pizza delivery driver to make ends meet. When loyal customers, the Valdez family, shared his story on TikTok, their followers donated money to help. Newey, with his day-to-day life, raising around $12,000 for the delivery man. Or, working at a vehicle inspection site in Katy, Texas, was never part of Jalen Gray's plan. He dreamed of being a park ranger. Still, he had to quit college and give up on that dream after his mom died and his little brother Julian became his sole priority. However, thanks to the kindness of strangers, he could return to college and continue his education. Or Steve Ankrum of Charlottesville, Virginia, struggled to make ends meet after serving 19 years in the U.S. Air Force. He had to walk 12 miles to work. Mechanics at Caliber Collision refurbished a total car and gifted it to him, demonstrating how kindness can change lives. Compassion is the basis of morality. Author Schopenhauer. The real question is, how can you apply this to your own life? Do you want to make a difference in other lives too? Well, here's how. 1. Practice small acts of kindness. Start with simple actions like helping someone in need, sharing food, offering kind words, or checking in on a friend or neighbor. Small gestures can create big impact. 2. Put yourself in other shoes. Before judging or ignoring someone's struggle, pause and ask yourself, how would I feel in their position? Cultivated empathy helps you respond with compassion. And 3. Give without expecting anything in return. Perform acts of kindness purely for the joy of helping others. Whether it's volunteering, donating, or offering support, focus on a positive difference you can make. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mahatma Gandhi. Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories consistently? Do me a favor and support the channel by sharing and commenting below. And please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest update. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.